Hello, I'm Ginger Nelson and welcome to Tea Time. Today I have the pleasure of talking to Patty Veazey, and she is running for state judge. Welcome.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, Patty, can you give us a little bit of background information? Who you are, where you're from?
Absolutely, Ginger. I grew up in Terrell County, which is Dawson, very close to Albany, and I am one of 3 girls. I'm the middle one. And my parents still live in Dawson in Terrell County. I grew up out on a farm, and from there, graduated from Terrell Academy. I went to the University of Georgia and got my undergraduate degree, and then I worked in Washington, D.C. for a few years.
Oh my goodness.
For back then it was Congressman Charles Hatcher. He was our congressman. That was quite a long time ago. And from there I went to law school at Mercer University. And then from there I went to Atlanta and practiced for about 7 years. I was with a firm up there for a little while, and then I had my own business in Atlanta. And then
what type of law?
Okay, I have always done plaintiff's work, divorce, custody, family law, and criminal law in the early days. That was pretty much what I focused on then. And then after about 6 or so years of living in Atlanta, I moved back to South Georgia to Albany, which is right next door to where I grew up, and had a business there, a law practice there, and I did corporate law as well as divorce, custody, some plaintiff's work, and criminal work. And then I moved here in 2000 and married Monty Veazey, and have been practicing here since 2000. So that's pretty much my background.
So you've been here since 2000, so really you call this
Oh,
home?
absolutely, yes. I've been here since 2000, and I have Monty and I have a son who's 11. He was born and raised here, so yes, this is definitely home. And I have 2 stepchildren that are grown, and they live here also. So yes, this is definitely home for me.
Okay. So you said you still practice?
Yes, I do, and I have practiced in Tifton since 2000, and during that time I have done once again a lot of domestic relations, you know, divorce, custody, criminal defense, and corporate law, and some plaintiffs litigation also. And the last 5.5 years of my practice, beginning in approximately 2008, I had a wonderful opportunity to work for a firm called Parker, Hudson, Rayner & Dobbs. And that law firm is based out of Atlanta, and they also have an office in Tallahassee. And I opened the South Georgia office for them here in Tifton.
Oh, okay.
And so I have had an office here in Tifton for Parker, Hudson, Rayner & Dobbs for the last 5.5 years. And I do primarily with them, I do healthcare law, corporate law, and plaintiff's tort law.
What is plaintiff's tort law? I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, that would be well, plaintiffs and defendants tort law. Basically, tort law is when someone is injured in some form and you are sued because someone's injured. But on this level, it's more like when pertaining to hospitals and big corporate businesses that have people that are suing them because of an injury, that type tort law.
Gotcha. I understand
yes.
now. Okay, now Patty, what gave you the initiative to run for this seat?
Yes, that's a good question. Well, I've always wanted to hold judicial office, and the reason I have wanted to is pretty much based on my experiences I've been practicing law for over 24 years. And when I lived in Albany, I had the privilege of serving as a municipal court judge for 7 years. And that was for the city of Dawson, city of Cuthbert, and city of Fort Gaines. And I really enjoyed doing it very much. It was very fulfilling, and I felt like I was able to help the people that came before me. When I moved to Tifton, I had to give that up because of my residence had changed, you know, and it was so far away. So I have always missed that interaction with the people in the community and feeling like I can do something to really help the citizens of the community. And I honestly believe that with my diverse background in law, and by that I mean I've practiced in so many different areas of law, and I've also practiced all over the state of Georgia. I have been in courtrooms all over the state of Georgia. And I've had the wonderful opportunity to practice with some of the most distinguished and competent and professional attorneys around, working with Parker, Hudson, Rayner, and Dobbs, and then just through the years working all over the state of Georgia. I feel like that experience and that knowledge and the competency that I've gained through that, I would bring that to the bench, and that would help me to be an efficient and competent administrator of justice.
So exactly what does the state court judge do?
Okay, that's a good question too, because a lot of people really don't know, because we have so many different levels of court. The Superior Court is your highest court in the county. The state court is right under it, and the state court is where, as far as criminal goes, it only has jurisdiction over misdemeanor cases criminally. But it does have jury trials, so as far as civil litigation goes, the state court hears just about everything that the Superior Court hears on a civil end. We do not hear divorce and custody in state court, and we do not hear title to land or equity title to land cases in state court, but we hear everything else. Really, the main difference is we don't hear divorce and custody, and we don't hear felony criminal law. And what is really appealing to me about the state court is, on a criminal level, you are dealing with misdemeanor offenders, alleged offenders, and quite often in that situation, the offender, it might be their first offense, they made a silly mistake, they were under peer pressure or something, and as a judge, you have the opportunity to listen to that individual case and determine, is there something I can do to help redirect this individual so that they don't fall into the criminal system where now they're a hardened felon, now they're in prison. Is there something I can do right now to facilitate an education or to give you life skills, something to redirect you so that you are a more productive citizen, which is good for all of us and it's good for our community, and put you back on the right track so that your life is not scarred by this one incident. Now, having said that, as a judge, you have to be very particular. There are times that you are able to do that. You're able to show compassion and help redirect someone that fits the bill for that. But there are also many instances where it does not. And you have to be ready to be tough on crime, tough on domestic violence, and tough when you need to be. And I have no problem being able to discern between the two when one is warranted and when one is not. So that, to me, is a great opportunity to get to help the community and help the citizens in that regard. Now, on the other end, on the civil end, where you're having people come to you because they may have a dispute over a contract, or it may be a personal injury case, or any kind of civil lawsuit, they may want a jury trial or they may want a bench trial. And I think that it's so important that the judge be efficient and be effective and keep the cases moving so that you don't have a backlog, so that people can have their cases heard timely. And you want to make sure, as a judge, I would, that in every instance that people are treated with courtesy, with respect, and with dignity when they walk in that courtroom. And it doesn't matter what you're in there for or who you are, but everybody must be treated, in my opinion, with dignity and respect. And the judge, of course, as judge, I would be foremost and always impartial, open-minded, and fair. Those are the cornerstones of being a good judge, and I know that I would exemplify that on a daily basis.
What is the date of the election? Okay,
the election is May the 20th, and we don't have far to go. And you know, a lot of people are asking me that because the legislature, the governor, moved the date back. It's normally later on in the summer.
Okay.
So this is the first time in a while that it's been on May the 20th. So we don't have but barely 2 more months to go.
Yeah, and we need a good turnout for this.
We do. And I think we'll have a good turnout because there are other races that are also, people are very interested in. So I hope we do.
So Patty, if there's something that you could tell the voters of Tifton, what would you actually tell them? You can look into the camera.
Okay. Well, I guess the main thing I would tell them is that I feel like through my diverse experiences and my diverse practice, I would be a very efficient and effective judge. I'm very competent and professional, and as stated earlier, you know, I feel like the #1 goal of any judge should be that everyone is treated fairly and impartially. I am open-minded. I have an open door for communication. I'm always so happy to listen to anybody who has any concerns or thoughts or ideas on how to change the court. I tend to be progressive in wanting our court to continue to grow. Judge Mims has done a phenomenal job with our court. The state court is just fantastic. He's done so well. I want to pick up there and keep it growing and keep it moving, and I will bring innovative techniques and innovative skills to the court so that it doesn't just settle out and not grow. I definitely want it to grow. I also am very interested in being a youth advocate for the children in our community, and Judge Mims began a civil program where he teaches the children a civil mock trial experience in the 5th grade, and I have assisted with that, and I want to continue that, but I also really want to bring another program in to the youth which involves teaching them about the criminal element of our society and basically teaching them through a school program what the repercussions and consequences are of criminal acts and how, you know, that can really ruin your life. And I feel like if they know at an early age, you know, you walk in the Dairy Queen and you hold them up with an arm with a pistol, you're looking at, you know, 20 years. Just let them know what they're looking at. I think they may think twice before they do it or fall for peer pressure. But I just also want to say that I will work as hard as I can work. I have a strong work ethic, and I will keep the court moving efficiently. And I would just appreciate your vote and your support on May the 20th.
Well, Patty, do you have any contact information that you can give the voters if they want to get to know you a little bit better,
Absolutely.
maybe have a question to ask?
Sure, absolutely. #1, I have a website, and it's veazeyforjudge.com, and you can message me on there, email me, and I'll reply immediately. Also, I'm married to Monty Veazey, and Monty and his family, you know, have been in this community for a long, long time, and his father and mother grew up here. And I'm in the phone book under Monty Veazey. Feel free to call me at that number. Also, if you want to call me at my office is listed in the phone directory under Parker, Hudson, Rayner, and Dobbs, and my office is directly across from the Baptist Church. Craig Webster has a big Victorian house, and I have space in there. Stop by. Just feel free to contact me. I love to speak to people about any of your thoughts or concerns.
And Patty, you're on Facebook as well?
I'm on Facebook, that's right. I'm on Facebook, I sure am.
And one thing we missed is community and events or organizations that you might attend. I know that you attend First Baptist Church.
I do. I'm a member of First Baptist Church. And I have been on the ABAC Board of Trustees Foundation for close to 12 years. That has been one of my primary civic organizations that I have really worked hard in through the years and have just enjoyed immensely and have loved seeing ABAC grow the way it has in the last 12 years. So I've been on that, and I'm still serving on the foundation, on the LLC foundation out there at ABAC. I do that. I'm on the Judicial Nominating Commission for the state of Georgia, and I was appointed by Governor Nathan Deal, and that keeps me very busy. I go to meetings probably once a month just about on that committee. I have also served on the committee for our district for electing the selection for the public defender when we changed over to public defender a few years ago. I've also served on the Georgia State Bar Committee for my district for the illegal practice of law. You'd be surprised people that hold themselves out as attorneys that are not, and that hurt people in the process. And so we have a committee that tries to help people if that's happened. I've served on that for many years. I've also served on the YMCA board and am active in different activities out there and sponsoring and helping with that. And with the hospital foundation, I've helped with some of the benefits that they've had, the galas and benefits that they've done. So I've always been active in the community and helping sponsor Little League and things like that.
Well, so. I forgot to ask you that at the beginning of the show, so I just wanted to bring it in at the end. Well, Patty, it was a pleasure being with you today on the show. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me. I've loved talking to you.
Well, telling us a little bit about you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And remember to get out and vote on May the 20th for Patty Veazey, Tift County State Court Judge. We'll see you next time right here on Plant TiftNet's Wiregrass Channel 3. Hello, I'm Ginger Nelson and welcome to Tea Time. Today I'm delighted to have Herbie Benson on the show with me, and he is running for Tift County Court State Judge, right?
Right.
Is that right?
Tift County State Court Judge.
State Court Judge.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Either way.
I got it wrong. Either way. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I'm proud to be here.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a Tifton native, born and raised here. I went to high school at Tift County, graduated a long time ago, 74. It's been 4 years.
Ooh, you're telling your age because I was born in 74.
I know, I understand that completely. So I graduated early though. I was a childhood phenomenon, you know. So I went through that, went to ABAC, spent 2 years at ABAC. Got my degree there, went on up to the University of Georgia, and worked for the newspaper while I was at ABAC. I was a sports editor, sports writer at that newspaper. So went there and got my degree in journalism at the University of Georgia. Was planning on going to law school at the time, but after 14, after 12 years of school and 4 years of college, 16 years total, I decided I want to get out. I thought I wanted to get out and work for a living, and I did that. I came back here and worked at the Gazette for about 5 years. Worked there as a city editor and eventually moved into the sports editor position till 82. And then I went back to law school at Georgia State and got my degree in 86. Georgia State had just opened up the law school, so it was a night program, and going to the day, I clerked at a law firm while I was up there. So I've been practicing law since 86, and enjoying not every minute of it, but enjoying
It's hard work, isn't it?
It is hard work. It's a lot of hard work, and but it's rewarding, more often than not.
Now you're married?
Married to Kim Harvey Benson. She and I, part of the reason I went to law school, I realized that I couldn't support her on a journalist salary, and she didn't want me to support her on a journalist salary.
That's right.
But she's a local CPA. She works with health systems management here in town, and we've got 2 kids. Chance is our oldest. He's 23. He'll be getting his master's degree in physical education in June, and hopefully he'll be going to work shortly thereafter. And then we've got Briggs is our youngest. He's 17. He was my 40th birthday present.
Oh my!
Yeah. So
was he a surprise?
He was, no question. And he's a surprise every day. So he's a junior at Tift County High School, and so he's playing baseball there. And we're hoping he'll maybe take that to the next level at some point in time. So we're living our life through our children right now.
So you have studied law since 1986.
Right. I've been practicing.
Practicing, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Law.
That's why they call it practicing.
Yeah, okay.
Since 86.
Since 86. Yes. And can you tell me a little bit about where you've worked? What law firms?
Well, I worked at, as I said, a number of different law firms. Worked with one in Atlanta for a while when I first got out of law school. And then my wife's daddy had a heart attack, and she decided we was moving back to Tifton, Georgia, coming back home. And we did that, so I have practiced. I had my own firm, practiced with Melinda Phillips for a while. Jason Hoffman and I and Melinda practiced together. I've been on my own a couple of times. I practiced with Sandy Sims for about 10 years, and which was a very interesting 10 years, I can assure you from that.
You know, he's dancing in the Dancing
Oh,
Stars
I know.
event.
That's what somebody told me that. But you know, he's dancing on 2 new knees. Those knees
That's
he's got
right.
had never danced very much. So we'll see if they can move like his old knees used to move. But I've been I'm going back to a solo practice, just myself. And I've been doing that about 2.5 years now.
So you practice what type of law?
You know, in a small town, you kind of do a very general practice of law or whatever. I don't do much real estate. I don't do much bankruptcy just because of you need to specialize in those types, and it's difficult for a solo practitioner to do that. I do a lot of domestic law with respect to that. Do a lot of corporate law, and I do a lot of criminal law, but I don't do as much in Tift County as I used to. I've been a municipal court judge for over 20 years here, and the city council said they prefer that I didn't do criminal law in the county. Certainly I wouldn't do it in the court I was in or the state court, because those cases tend to get transferred back and forth. But so I don't do as much as I used to. When I first moved here, you know, new lawyers in town get all the appointed cases, so I practiced a lot of the criminal law cases that the general attorney that's been here and already established himself did not want. The ones that got the bad publicity, I usually ended up getting appointed to along the way. But fortunately, I've put in my time, and you know, and that's going down to other attorneys now with respect to that.
Now, you said that you're a municipal court judge as well.
That's correct.
And that's in what counties?
Right now, it's a city. It's what the municipal court judge is. And so I've been municipal court judge for the city of Tifton. It used to be called Recorder's Court, City Court from there. So I've been doing that since 1991 for the city of Tifton. Currently doing it in Omega. I've been there about 10 years, and I've just started about a year or so ago in Sycamore. And I've done it in the past. Previously, I've served about 15 years in Ashburn, maybe a little bit more than that, and also in Adel for a while. So I was trying to do my research for your show, and I was looking up some plant tail, and I saw we all had a picture of some of your employees that have been here, long-time employees. You know, and, I believe the caption said 100 years worth of experience.
Yeah.
Well, I've got well over 50 years worth of experience as far as municipal court judgeships, working those courts. When you start tallying up all the years I've got in each of those cities.
Well, tell me a little bit about what that job entails.
It's very similar to the state court judge. It's the primary basis of it is traffic. We handle traffic cases, virtually every traffic case, no matter what, whether it's a speeding ticket, a DUI charge, suspended license. So we handle all of those. In addition to that, of course, we've got the authority and the jurisdiction to handle shoplifting cases. We handle disorderly conducts, underage drinking. With regard to that, so we handle a wide variety of cases. There's a few cases that the state courts handle, criminal cases that we do not handle, such as we handle like the first underage drinking case you're charged with, but if they're charged the second time, that's got to go over to the state court just from a jurisdictional standpoint. And the state court handles some civil cases are tried over there, lawsuits that we don't do, and we cannot handle jury trials in municipal courts. Municipal court strictly a bench trial. That's for the judge to listen to the evidence and make the decisions. But the state court rather has the option of presenting jury trials in both the civil or criminal cases.
So you've had a lot of experience in this.
Oh yeah, I've had a lot of experience as far as from both sides of the bench, both as the judge and as a trial attorney. So I've seen it, the good and the bad of each side, and it's practice of law, whether you practice an attorney or whether you're a judge, it's evolving. It's like every other profession in technology, and it's a very evolving experience. It's something you just got to keep track of and keep working to try to stay ahead of.
So what made you decide to run for this election?
Well, I just thought it was a great opportunity, I mean, to do this. I mean, I've done, as I said, I've served as municipal court judge in Tift, and we meet a lot of the smaller cities. Omega will meet once a month, for example. From that, so small towns, if you're a municipal court judge in a small town, you have the right to handle the same type of cases, but you don't. It's an entirely different atmosphere with respect between two courts because of a number of factors such as budget. With small town, small towns tend to, a lot of their cases, they will handle traffic cases, but they will transfer a lot of the shoplifting cases, underage drinkers, or something that's going to entail some jail time. Those can get transferred over to the state court just because of the jail costs involved and the other expense that the small towns don't have the budget to do that. City of Tift meets every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We meet every week. We handle between 75 and 100 cases each week, and we have trials every week.
We have that many cases?
Oh yeah, yeah, yes we do. And so and it's growing. But Judge Mims has been the state court judge now since 1989, and he started out as the solicitor of the state court, which is the prosecutor, just like the district attorney in the Superior Court. And that's how he originally started in the state court with Judge Buckley. And when Judge Buckley retired, then Judge Mims took over, and he's been doing that. And he announced, I believe it was in January, that he was going to step down and retire. And this just seemed to be the next natural step. Like I said, the cases, the positions are both extremely similar, same type of cases. It gives me I enjoy what I do. Sometimes it's tough to make those decisions up there, but it's an opportunity to contribute. And I know that sounds stereotypical sometimes, like a pat answer, but that's one of the reasons I grew up on Perry Mason. The attorneys who was doing the right things, the Matlocks of the world, where good triumphs over evil with respect to that. And this gives me an opportunity to be a part of that system and try to help make it work. And sometimes as an attorney, you're advocating just for one side. And so that decision is ultimately in the judge's hands to make, and you walk away feeling like, well, maybe I could do more. But as a judge, I get the opportunity to make that decision, and as long as I can go home and feel like I made the right decision, now the parties may leave feeling like I didn't make the right decision, but as long as I go home feeling like I made the right decision, then I feel like we've done something. And of course, I jokingly tell everybody that that's really the only time during the week that I have any control over my life, because otherwise my wife tells me what to do when I'm at the house, and my secretary tells me what to do when I'm at the office. So for, that 3 hours a day, no, I understand. Most women don't do that, and my wife doesn't do it much now. You're going to edit that part out.
That's right. No, she's a good lady. We know she's a good lady.
But no, this, like I said, it was just seemed to be the natural and next step to what I had been doing and what I enjoyed doing, and I hope to continue doing it at the next level.
Well, it's your passion.
Sure.
You've been doing it for a long time.
I have been doing it for a long time from there, and so it's you have some moments of levity when some of the cases you get, but then you get a lot of cases that are tough. I had a gentleman yesterday that was in his 30s in court, for example. He had a drug problem that he had gone off and got counseling for a year rehab, and apparently had relapsed. Had 3 daughters that he was fighting to keep custody of. His wife had nothing to do with them, but yet he was making poor decisions with regard to that. So, that's when you have to step in and say, well, you're going to need to do this if you want to keep your daughters from that. And 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 sometimes it works, and unfortunately sometimes it doesn't. But that's where you have to look at, different means and try different
Have
things.
to weigh out your options.
That's right.
That's right.
And every case is different.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. So.
Well, election is what day?
The voting day is actually May the 20th. But
May the
then
20th.
Early election starts on the 28th of April, so it starts soon, and it will go through May the 16th. So, like they say in Chicago, get out early and vote
That's
early
right.
and vote
Go
often.
ahead and vote early. That's right.
So,
Well, Herbie, we appreciate you coming on the show with
well,
us.
thank you. I appreciate
Telling
you
us
coming.
a little bit about yourself.
Well, sure. One thing I would like to say,
Okay.
real quick before I leave it, is I've done, like I said, municipal court for 20 plus years, and nobody can do a good job by themselves. And and I've got 2 court clerks that have worked with. They've been there longer than I have. They've practically run the court, and that's Beth Thacker and Forrestine Lyles. And they do a great job. And if I make a mistake and make the wrong decision, they usually tell me afterwards that that I did. With regard to that, we've got a great probation service. Darren Teals and Sister Belinda Green. They're from Tifton. Their sister Bertha Daniels, I think she's retired from ABAC, is part owner of that. And so we worked up a number of programs that we feel like been able to help people through the probation service and that. And if I get an opportunity to serve a state court judge, they've got Jason Hoffman and Bryce Johnson. Bryce is running for a Senate seat, I believe. So he's the assistant solicitor over there. So they will be there to help and assist with cases and help us hopefully to take the job that Larry has done and take it to the next level, improve on it. So I just want to say thank you for I got an opportunity to all of those folks for helping us be able to do what we've been doing for 20 plus years.
Well, I'm glad that you are running for election, and
Thank
it is
you.
coming up on May the 20th.
May 20th.
May the 20th. You don't want to forget to go out and vote on May the 20th. Herbie Benson for Tift County State Court Judge. We'll see you next time right here on Plant Tift Net's Wiregrass Channel 3.